fruition last week in a different manner. I think you guys can come down from the high this Saturday and be ready to take on a Georgia team that's only won one game in the SEC.
Rob, I think they better. We came in yesterday and, we told them after the game that, hey, it was a big win for us, but enjoy it Saturday night, but know that they come in yesterday focused and with laser focus, knowing that we've got another big game Tuesday night, and we came in yesterday and obviously went through the things that we didn't do very well. And so with the message was today's the most important day we've got. We've got to come out and practice hard today. We've got to be focused, again, like we have been really for the most part all year long, knowing that we've got to play good basketball.
Rick, were you more impressed when you went back and watched Brandon on film, and what's the next step for him now that it seems like he's gained some confidence?
Consistency, yeah. We were. After the game we talked about Brandon was one of the first guys we congratulated in the locker room because he was his preparation, mental preparation before the game had gone to a different level in the last week. He came in a couple games ago, he did it again, wanting to know exactly what was expected of him on the defensive end. And I think that's where he's probably changed as much. I think most young players coming in, their whole way of looking at the game is from an offensive side of the ball, as opposed to realizing there's so much more that goes into the guts of this game that you've got to do away from the ball and on each play, and there's a responsibility, and that's where he's really embraced it. I think really wanting to learn the game in a whole different way, and it's fun to watch him do it. And now we told him, hey, you're starting to show that what you can do, what we've known you could do all along. You got to give him credit for really buying into it, and now he knows, and I've told him, hey, there's more there, and we're going to get it. And but I think he's excited about what he's done, but knowing that he's got to continue to get better.
Ryan and Grant.
Is this the best rebounding team you've had at Tennessee?
I don't know if I can say that. It's something that we've stopped. I don't look back and look at. I guess numbers in the end will bear that out one way or the other. But we look at each day with our guys and each team. What do this team have to do to get better? And we talked about it a week ago actually, that we had to get better. We had to get better with our ball screen defense, both guards and post players. We talked about rebounding. If we're going to give teams 2-3 shots, we can't get done what we want to get done. And on the other end, we do think we can score the ball, but there's going to be nights where we've had games where we've had great looks and it didn't go in, and we've got to be able to go rebound it at a high level. And just exactly what we don't want teams to do to us, we need to do to them by getting those second shots. But it takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot of work on each player because we've got great respect for every team that we play against, and coaches we play against coaches that know what they're doing, and they're going to say, hey, you got to keep them off the board, and they're going to block out. So will you make that second and third multi-effort plays to go get the ball on both ends? And again, that's an area that I would tell you that we can always get better with.
Rick, you mentioned your team has been pretty consistently focused this entire season. How much pride do you take in that as a coach, and where do you think that comes from with this group?
Well, one, I appreciate them and them doing their part, but I've said before, I think that we have the best coaching staff in the country. I know how hard they work with these guys. It's not just the voice that they hear from me in practice, but I know that it goes on behind the scenes every day from the time we start early in the mornings with guys individually. And when you have a coaching staff that, again, I believe it. And I know how hard these guys work to prepare, and I know how hard they work in practice, but we do spend a lot of time with our players. And so they're getting the right message from, a coaching staff that has been around. They know what goes into this, and then they're doing their part.
Mike Bignemi.
We talked a lot about Brandon after the game, and again now in this change in the last week. Where do you think the change came from in terms of just this sudden focus on mental preparation?
I don't know. I think that you'd probably have to ask him that because, Brandon, you go back, Brandon was one of the first guys that got here because he made the jump from high school. He could still be in high school. And I do remember back, it seems like a long, long time ago. And as a coaching staff, we poured a lot into Brandon, a lot. Because one, we love him as a person. We knew that he was coming in with a lot of expectations and pressure in a lot of different areas that sometimes you wish as a coaching staff wasn't like that, because this is a process you have to go through. But he, young people only know what they know, what they've been told, and until you get into the thick of it, and it is always harder than they think. It's harder. I mean, it's just, unless you've been through it, it's really, really difficult. And I think he's had some teammates that have stuck with him all the way. That Olivier, I know Olivier was able to share with him, hey man, I've been here 3 years, and these are the ups and downs I've gone through. Josiah, Santi, every one of these guys have had to deal with the ups and downs of understanding what college basketball is about. But it goes back to where I've said all along, I think these guys like each other. I think they really, from day one, they wanted to be a good basketball team. And if we had, like every team, you go through issues that you have to deal with from internal, that sometimes it comes from outside people thinking they know more than what's really going on in house every single day. But that's part of it. That's part of it that you deal with. But the fact is that these guys, I don't think they've given up on anybody at any point in time, and they've told Brandon from day one that we need you. And but it takes time. It does. And but to give him credit, because he has stayed with it, and he knows it hasn't been easy, but what he's getting right now is, we're happy for him, because you know what, he's staying after it.
Rick, what concerns you most about Georgia?
Well, I know they really, I've got a lot of respect for Tom Crean. I've known Tom for a long, long time, and he, I can assure you, he's coaching that basketball team, and like tomorrow he's getting ready to play the Super Bowl. I know how he is. I mean, I know Tom's very competitive, and he's going to do everything he can with offensively what they do. They really do a good job of getting you spread out, and excellent at running back cuts on you. If you watch them, they're a well-coached team. They really are, and you know as well as I do that they're going to be at home. I don't know if this is their last home game or not. Do they have another home? Is this their senior night?
This would be their senior.
It could be. So, but in this league, I tell everybody, when you're in this league, I don't care. You throw out the records, you throw it all out. If you're in this league, anybody in this league, top to bottom, has a chance to put together a great game. And so it goes back to focus. And I think every coach in this league would tell you, when we get ready to play, we're more concerned about our team and what we have to do. And I can assure you that Tom Crean's going to have his team ready to play, and we'll have a game plan against us that exactly what he thinks it will take to beat us.
Coach, you had some guys last week that were limited in practice banged up. Was the weekend enough to get healthy, or are you still going to manage some guys this week?
Rob, we probably will have to manage some. The one thing, maybe playing Tuesday this week, we'll be able to get a little bit more time and after Tuesday, but we'll still have, this time of year, I think we all have to manage that. But it's a concern, and I think you saw the game Saturday. Those guys, we felt, and even looking at the tape, even felt so that the three guys that we had to manage, they were a little bit sluggish at the start of the game, which you expect. I'm a believer, and I was trying to say it the other day, you get in a rhythm, and when that rhythm gets broken, it might be subtle, but sometimes it takes you a little bit longer. But all three of those guys got better as the game went on.
You spoke about Brandon Huntley-Hatfield's growth. Well, Kennedy Chandler was just named the SEC Freshman of the Week. What have you seen him develop and grow in?
Again, a lot like what with Brandon. I think Kennedy's biggest improvement has been is since the Texas game, his defense has gotten so much. He's become more locked in defensively, and because of that, he's gotten so much better with it. And then I think again, his preparation, knowing that at that spot, all eyes are on you, and if you're going to be out front and if you're going to do the things that we need that position to do, it takes a great deal of preparation. But Kennedy is, since the Texas game, has just been a different player too in terms of his defense, basically, and he's still. Again, I thought the other day, and I told him this yesterday, it's my fault. I thought I kept him out there too long. At the end of the game, I felt like he had gotten fatigued a little bit, and that's my fault. But the fact is, he's improved a lot.
Finish up with Ryan. Brandon and Jonas's growth
Well, we'll see. You know, as we know, it's a game of matchups. But Brandon showed a lot. I mean, he was running down rebounds the other day and making those extra effort type plays. And defensively was again, it's really. I'm telling you, it's fun to watch when you see a guy when the game starts out and the specific couple things that you give him is when you can tell he's locked into doing that. And it was neat watching Brandon do that. And then the effort he made to rebound and run down balls, and because Brandon's got really good hands, he really does, and we've got guys on our team that Josiah's got great hands, Brandon does, you know, Zakai gets his hands on, Kennedy does. We've got guys that have good hands, and when they get them working, and we can break things loose, and but him running down those rebounds is something he didn't do a month ago, but now he's making all those plays, but it goes back to practice. He's coming into practice with a much more of a better focus, and I do think that these guys realize that practice is the most important thing that we do until the ball goes up, and what we do to prepare prior to that is really important. And again, he's figured that out.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.